This is an update dealing with Emmett Till. So last Sunday's show, and we posted articles on our Facebook fan page, The African History Network, dealing with this. We talked about the arrest warrant from August 29th, 1955, issued for Carolyn Bryant, that was found recently, and it was found by volunteers, and it was found by members of Emmett Till's family. Okay, now they want the arrest warrant to be served. All right, they want the arrest warrant to be served. I want to go to this. We're going to go to here to clip number one here in just a second, Jalen. So there was a manuscript, a 99-page manuscript, unpublished manuscript, that surfaced this week. And Associated Press was able to read the manuscript. This manuscript, in it, Carolyn Bryant says that she did not want harm to come to Emmett Till. Okay, now there's a couple of articles on this. Black Enterprise has one. Also, Associated Press has one as well. I want to put, but if we look at this article here from, this is from WAPT.com that they picked up from the Associated Press. We're going to clip one in just a second here, Jalen. Carolyn Bryant says she tried to help Emmett Till, memoir says. Carolyn Bryant says she tried to help Emmett Till, memoir says. Family member of Emmett Till calls for justice. Now, the woman at the center of the 1955 lynching of Emmett Till in Money, Mississippi, denies wanting him killed. The claim comes in a memoir by Carolyn Bryant Donham that was obtained by the Associated Press. Okay, in the 99-page manuscript, Carolyn Bryant Donham says she attempted to help Emmett Till once he had been located by her husband, Roy Bryant, and his brother-in-law, J.W. Millam, and they brought Emmett Till to her for identification. Okay, now she said in the memoir, unpublished memoir, she said she denied that Emmett Till was the youth, and she did not want any harm to come to him. Now, the Associated Press obtained the memoir from a historian. Now, an unserved arrest warrant charging Carolyn Bryant Donham in Emmett Till's abduction was recently found in a Mississippi courthouse basement. The family of Emmett Till continues to call for justice after Emmett Till's kidnapping and torture and lynching August 28, 1955. All right. I want to go to this clip here from WAPT. This is WAPT Channel 16 out of Jackson, Mississippi. Let's go to this clip, please, Jalen.
A 99-page memoir recently obtained by the Associated Press, written by Carolyn Bryant Donham. The memoir, titled "I Am More Than a Wolf Whistle," claiming that in Money, Mississippi, back in 1955, when her husband and brother-in-law brought Till before her, she was trying to protect him by telling them he was not Till. The two men went after Till for allegedly whistling at Donham.
In that manuscript, I think further just proves that she was involved. Whether she denied that she identified Emmett or not, she had some involvement. Carolyn Bryant is not a victim. Carolyn Bryant was not afraid. Emmett was afraid.
Deborah Watts is the cousin of Emmett Till, also serving as the co-founder and executive director of the Emmett Till Legacy Foundation. She says the family remains consistent in seeking justice.
She's culpable, and she's an accessory to what happened to Emmett. And it's unfortunate that no one has held her accountable for her role. And we want that to happen.
And just last month, an unserved warrant for Donham was found in the Lafleur County Courthouse in Greenwood, Mississippi, charging her with Till's kidnapping. Watts tells me the hope is to still hear from her beyond the pages of the memoir.
We deserve to actually hear her voice and not just read a book. Or she has a story to tell. She has some admissions that she needs to say that in front of a judge. She needs to have that warrant served for her arrest and go through the appropriate process that anyone that has not been held accountable for their act in the kidnapping and lynching of Emmett Till.
And in the meantime, the family says that they're anxiously waiting to hear from both Leflore County Sheriff Ricky Banks and the DA of the Fourth Circuit Court District, Dwayne Richardson, on issuing that arrest warrant. Live in the studio.
Okay, so that was from WAPT News, Channel 16 out of Jackson, Mississippi. Okay, now I want to go to this article here from the Associated Press from July 14, 2022. Okay, and we're coming up here on the break, so we'll get to this on the other side of the break. Listen to the African History Network show right here on 910 AM Superstation Future Radio. Share this broadcast on social media platforms. Give us a thumbs up, give us a heart, give us a like. You can also give us a call, 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600 is the call-in number if you have a question or comment. Listen to the African History Network show. I'm Michael Imhotep. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Michael Imhotep. Now, we deal with a number of different topics here on the African History Network show. We deal with current events and history and much, much more. We're going to give you an update on what's going on. This is about self-preservation. We have to extinguish the fire of white supremacy. See, elections have consequences.
Catch it all right here on 910 AM Superstation. The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 910 AM Superstation or Adele Media.
Welcome back to the African History Network show right here on 910 AM Superstation. Okay, it's Sunday, July 17th, 2022. Calling numbers 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600 is the call-in number if you have a question or comment. Okay, so right before the break, we were given an update in the Emmett Till case and some of the latest developments, and a 99-page manuscript, unpublished manuscript, written by Carolyn Bryant, surfaced this past week. And it was obtained by the Associated Press from a historian. Now, the Associated Press has this article here. Black Enterprise had an article on July 15th that they picked up from the Associated Press from July 14th. Here's the article from the Associated Press. Emmett Till accuser in memoir denies wanting teen killed. Emmett Till accuser in memoir denies wanting teen killed. All right, so in this piece here, it says the white woman who accused black teenager Emmett Till of making improper advances before he was lynched in Mississippi in 1955 says she neither identified him to the killers nor wanted him murdered. Says she neither identified him to the killers nor wanted him murdered. Okay, so keep in mind this was in a unpublished 99-page memoir. Okay, an unpublished 99-page memoir. Now, if we continue here, in an unpublished memoir obtained by the Associated Press, Carolyn Bryant Donham said she was unaware of what would happen to Emmett Till. She was unaware of what would happen to Emmett Till, who lived in Chicago and was visiting relatives in Mississippi when he was abducted, killed, and tossed in the Tallahatchie River. Now, she's now 87 years old, Carolyn Bryant Donham, and she was 21 years old at the time. Her then husband, Roy Bryant, and his half brother, J.W. Millam, were acquitted of murder charges. It was a segregated courtroom. It was an all-white jury. They later confessed in a magazine interview by Look magazine. They later confessed in a magazine interview by Look magazine. Okay, and they were paid $4,000 for the interview also. All right, now let me try to close this stuff out. They paid $4,000 for the interview as well. If you watch Eyes on the Prize, the first installment, they deal with the killing of Emmett Till. Now, Carolyn Bryant Donham, 87. Okay, sorry. The contents of the 99-page manuscript titled, I Am More Than a Wolf Whistle. I Am More Than a Wolf Whistle, were first reported by the Mississippi Center for Investigative Reporting. Now, historian Timothy Tyson, who we talked about on last week's show, and who could not provide evidence to the Department of Justice when they investigated the FBI that Carolyn Bryant recanted her testimony. Read the 16-page report that we went through last week, okay? The 16-page Department of Justice report. Now, historian and author Timothy Tyson of Durham, North Carolina, who said he obtained a copy from Carolyn Bryant Donham while interviewing her in 2008, provided a copy to the Associated Press on Thursday. If you obtained a copy, see, this is the whole thing with Professor Timothy Tyson. First, he said he did 2 interviews with her in 2008. He did audio recordings of the interview, and he said in one of those interviews, she recanted her testimony. But he waited until 2017, about a month before his book came out, The Blood of Emmett Till, before he said something about it. Because of that information, that's what caused the Department of Justice to open up a new investigation that they closed in December of 2021. They kept running into dead ends. They can't find evidence to use in court to prosecute Carolyn Bryant Donham beyond a reasonable doubt and get a conviction. We broke all this stuff down last week. Now he says this past week. Now, see, this is some BS right here. Okay. Now this past week, he comes out with a 99-page unpublished manuscript that he said he got in 2008, and you're just now saying something about it. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's what you want to do. Okay. Historian and author Timothy Tyson, who said he obtained a copy from Carolyn Bryant Donham while interviewing her in 2008, provided a copy to the Associated Press on Thursday. What the hell did you wait for? Why did you wait so long to say something about this? Tyson had placed the manuscript in an archive at the University of North Carolina with the agreement that it not be made public for decades. Though he said he gave it to the FBI during an investigation the agency concluded last year. He said he decided to make it public now following the recent discovery of an arrest warrant on kidnapping charges that was issued for Carolyn Bryant Donham in 1955 but never served. Maybe if you had said something back in 2008, when I think maybe there was still some witnesses alive in 2008, he brought to justice. Quote, the potential for an investigation was more important than the archival agreements, though those are important things, Professor Timothy Tyson said. When you come to this like moral realist, this epiphany, when did you come to this epiphany? Did it have anything to do with like the resurfacing of the fact that, I don't know, the case was closed and you can provide evidence that you claim that you had, that she recanted her testimony? Did it have anything to do with the show I did last Sunday? I'm just wondering. I don't know. Well, I went through the 16-page Department of Justice report again. And the Department of Justice, the FBI said, you gave us one recording, and this recording did not contain a recantation of her testimony. And then the Department of Justice in their report, they said that he kept giving different explanations about what happened to the second recording, and he kept giving different explanations about whether she ever recanted her testimony in the first place. Now, all of a sudden, you come out, you produce a 99-page unpublished manuscript that she gave you back in 2008. This is some fraganackle bull right here. Tyson's, so he said the potential for an investigation was more important than the archival agreements, though those are important things. He said, but this is probably the last chance for an indictment in this case. You think maybe you should have said something before all the witnesses had? I don't have a law degree. I studied law. I mean, I'm just thinking. You think maybe you should have said something before all the witnesses died? A cousin of Emmett Till who leads this is Deborah Watts, a cousin of Emmett Till who leads the Emmett Till Legacy Foundation, said the memoir is new evidence that shows Carolyn Bryant Donham's involvement in the case and is particularly important when combined with the arrest warrant. She said, I truly believe these developments cannot be ignored by the authorities in Mississippi. They're going to ignore it. Attorney General is. We have to see what LaFleur County, the local district attorney, is going to do. The Mississippi State Attorney General, I mean, people, this is Mississippi. Mississippi had the largest number of lynchings in this country from 1882 to 1968. They had 581 lynchings. This is Mississippi. Mississippi, this is where Goodman, Schwartz, and Cheney were lynched June 21st, 1964. This is where Fannie Lou Hamer was from and was beaten in jail, pulled off of a bus and beaten so badly she was in a hospital for 30 days. This is Mississippi. Mississippi. This is the state that had the Mississippi State Convention in 1890, where they rewrote the state constitution to impose poll taxes and literacy tests. So I expect the good old boy, the state's attorney general, not to do anything. That's to be expected. I don't expect the local district attorney to do anything either. Why? This is Mississippi. First of all, you need like real. Where are your witnesses? This is what we talked about last week. You go to court. Where are your witnesses? This is one of the problems. This is why maybe if Professor Timothy Tyson had produced this 99-page unpublished memoir, maybe back in 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, maybe there were still some witnesses alive, so you could corroborate evidence and maybe bring about charges. In the memoir, Carolyn Bryant Donham says she attempted to help Emmett Till once he had been located by her husband and brother-in-law and brought to her in the middle of the night for identification. She said, quote, I did not wish Emmett any harm and could not stop harm from coming to him since I didn't know what was planned for him. Okay, now here's the thing. Now, because all the witnesses are dead, even if they bring charges against her, what stops her from saying, just following along with this right here in an unpublished manuscript? I don't know the year that this manuscript was written, but this was obtained in 2008 by Professor Timothy Tyson. What stops her from saying, hey, I didn't know what was going to happen to him. My husband threatened me. He was going to beat me or do harm to me, whatever. I said it wasn't him. All the witnesses are dead. Now, here's the thing. Even if she's lying, guess what? The burden of proof is on the prosecution. The prosecution, which would be the Department of Justice, they have to then prove in court that she's lying. If she says this was happened, the burden of proof is not on her, it's on the prosecution. They have to prove she's lying. And not only that, when you go look at the interview that J.W. Millum and Roy Bryant did in Look magazine after they were acquitted of killing Emmett Till, in that interview, I think it was Roy Bryant, her husband, he said something to the effect of, they just wanted to scare Emmett Till, but Emmett Till said something to them, and it wasn't Emmett Till's fault, okay? But he said Emmett Till said something to him, and he looked at him and said something to the effect of, boy, you're not going to see your mother again, something like that, okay? So in the interview with Look magazine, L-O-O-K, Look magazine, basically they said they just want to scare him. So she could go into court and say, hey, I didn't know what was going to happen. My husband, I didn't want to do it. My husband threatened me. He's dead. Brother-in-law's dead. Where's the evidence to prove her wrong? This is why, see, what makes this a tricky case is The witnesses are going. She can go in and tell that story. Now it's up to the prosecution to prove her wrong based upon the evidence. Prove she's lying. Now, Carolyn Bryant Donham says in the manuscript compiled by her daughter-in-law, quote, I tried to protect him by telling Roy, her husband, that he's not the one. That's not him. Please take him home. She claims in the manuscript that Emmett Till, who had been dragged from a family home at gunpoint in the middle of the night, spoke up and identified himself. Okay. So this is what she claims. Okay. Now, if they admit this in the court, the prosecution has to prove that she's lying. The burden of proof is on the prosecution. It's not on her. Carolyn Bryant Donham adds that she always felt like a victim, as well as Emmett. She adds she always felt like a victim as well as Emmett and paid dearly with an altered life for what happened. So she's making herself the victim. Okay. We'll continue this on the other side of the break. I want you to hear clip number 2 also out of Jackson, Mississippi. You listen to the African History Network show right here on 910 AM Superstation Future Radio. I'm your host, Brother Michael Imhotep. We'll be back in a few minutes. Welcome back to the African History Network show right here on 910 AM the Superstation, the Future Radio. All right, you can support the African History Network, $ TheAHN Show through Cash App, $ TheAHN Show through Cash App, also through PayPal, paypal.me/TheAHN Show. So keep doing the research, stay on the air, keep broadcasting, pay some of the bills. We're just doing the show once a week. Now, Sundays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A couple months ago, I stopped doing it daily because it was just a lot of work and it's putting a financial strain on us as well. So we're just doing it on Sundays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, I want to go back to this Associated Press article. And, this story gets... After 67 years of story, new information still coming out. It gets crazier and crazier. If we go back to this Associated Press article from Thursday, July 14th, Emmett Till accuser in memoir denies wanting teen killed. Unpublished memoir. We're going to clip number 3 from ABC Channel 7 Chicago in just a minute here, Jalen. Okay, so Carolyn Bryant Donham adds that she always felt like a victim as well as Emmett and paid dearly with an altered life for what happened. Now, the name of the unpublished memoir is I Am More Than Just a Wolf Whistle. That's the name of the unpublished memoir. I Am More Than Just a Wolf Whistle. And there's a good article from Black Enterprise on this. We'll show you that here in just a minute. Okay, she said, okay, so now she wants to bring God into it. She said, I have always prayed that God would bless Emmett's family. I am truly sorry for the pain his family was caused. She says at the end of the manuscript, which is signed Ken, but indicates that it was written by her daughter-in-law, Marsha Bryant. Marsha Bryant. Marsha. The memoir is remarkable, not only because it is the most extensive account of this episode ever recorded by Carolyn Bryant Donham, but also because it contains contradictions that raise questions about her truthfulness through the years, said Dale Killinger, a retired FBI agent, investigated the case more than 15 years ago. So that would be the 2004 FBI investigation. Okay, the 2004 FBI investigation. Okay, now, for instance, Carolyn Bryant Donham claims in the memoir to have yelled for help after being confronted by Emmett Till inside the family grocery store in Money, Mississippi. Yet no one ever reported hearing her screams, retired FBI agent Killinger said. Okay, Dale Killinger. yet no one ever reported hearing her screams. Also, Carolyn Bryant Donham never previously mentioned that she and Roy Bryant, her husband, chatted about abduction. In the manuscript, she says they did. Okay, now here's the thing. The manuscript is not testimony, meaning that the manuscript was not done under oath. So she can lie in the manuscript, okay? She can lie in the manuscript. The problem is she lies under oath in an FBI investigation. She can say whatever she wants to say in the manuscript. Now, if they bring the manuscript in the court, then, and she testified, and if they prosecute her and they bring the manuscript in the court, she's testifying under oath. So if she testifies under oath truthfully and contradicts the manuscript, okay, now you have to prove that she's lying. So the manuscript, so some people may call the manuscript a confession, but it's not under oath. So she can go in court and say something entirely different, and it's up to the prosecution to prove that she's lying under oath if she goes in and contradicts the manuscript. The manuscript is not under oath. She can say whatever she wants to in the manuscript. All right, so also, Carolyn Bryant Donham never previously mentioned that she and Roy Bryant chatted about the abduction. In the manuscript, she says that they did chat about the abduction. Now, Dale Killinger, retired FBI agent who investigated this case in 2004, he said, that seems ludicrous. How would you have a major event in your life and not talk about it? I mean, her husband was put on trial. You ain't talk about it at all? Now, the Justice Department closed its most recent investigation into the case in December of 2021, and Mississippi authorities have not given any indication that they plan to pursue the kidnapping warrant. Mississippi authorities have not given any indication that they plan to pursue the kidnapping warrant or other charges against Carolyn Bryant Donham. Once again, it's Mississippi. Okay, where they had the Mississippi State Convention in 1890, and Solomon Saladin Calhoun said, we are here to exclude the Negro. And he was the white county judge who presided over the convention. And this convention rewrote the state constitution. This convention rewrote the state constitution of Mississippi and imposed poll taxes and literacy tests, and became known as the Mississippi Plan. And this was the model that was used by other southern states to rewrite their state constitutions and suppress the African American vote. We read this all here from Washington Post. We've talked about it a number of times. The Mississippi Plan. Let's pull this up here. The Mississippi Plan to keep blacks from voting in 1890. We came here to exclude the Negro. We came here to exclude the Negro. This is from Ronald G. Schaefer, May 1st, 2021. The convention's president, Solomon Saladin Calhoun, a white county judge, put the voting issue bluntly. Quote, let's tell the truth if it bursts the bottom of the universe. He said, we came here to exclude the Negro. Nothing short of this will answer. Delegates in the Mississippi State Convention eventually adopted a literacy test and poll tax geared to suppress the black vote in a state with a black majority. In a state with a black majority, the Mississippi Plan became the model throughout the South, part of a raft of racially oppressive Jim Crow laws that ended Reconstruction. Once again, this is Mississippi. Okay, I want to go to clip number 2 here. This is from ABC Channel 7, Chicago. This clip here, Emmett Till accuser Carolyn Bryant Donham denies wanting teen killed in 1955 lynching. memoir. Let's go to clip 2, Jalen.
The investigative report is out on the school massacre in Uvalde, Texas, that left 19 children and 2 teachers dead. The committee laying out what they call systemic.
Yeah, refresh that screen, and it should go to it should go back to the first video. That's from ABC Channel 7 Chicago. If you refresh that screen, it should go back to the first video. Should go back to the first video. Okay, just let me know when you have it queued up. I'm going to pull up this article here from ABC Channel 7 Chicago also. You may just have to refresh the screen a couple of times or something like that.
The woman whose accusation led to the death of Emmett Till wrote that she actually tried to protect the teen. In an unpublished memoir obtained by the Associated Press, Carolyn Bryant Donham said that she did not identify Till to the people who killed him. The Black Chicago teen was lynched in Mississippi in 1955. Donham accused him of making improper advances. Historians are disputing Donham's claim that Till identified himself to his killers.
2 big white men with guns came and dragged him out of his aunt and great uncle's house at 2 o'clock in the morning in the Mississippi Delta in 1955. I do not believe for 1 minute that he identified himself.
Donham's then husband and half-brother were acquitted of murder charges, but they later confessed in a magazine interview.
Okay, so that person you heard talking about, I don't believe for 1 minute that he confessed, that was historian Timothy Tyson, who released this past week the unpublished manuscript that he's had since 2008, and he released it this past week. Okay. All right. We're coming up here on the break. When we come back from the break, we'll continue this story some more. I'm going to go back to the article from the Associated Press, and then I want to get to this other story here. And this deals with we'll get to squeezing that story dealing with the Border Patrol and the Haitians and the new report that came out, 511-page report. And then also we're going to get to the information, the segment from Roland Martin, The Filtered. Okay. Listen to the African History Network show. I'm Michael Imhotep. We'll be back in a few minutes. Hotep, everybody. Hey, this is Michael Imhotep, founder of the African History Network, host of the African History Network show. I'm a talk show host, researcher, lecturer, writer, and historian. And I want to give a special shout out to everybody who has attended the 11th annual Liberated Minds Black Homeschooling Education Expo. I just want to take a few minutes, and we had a great presentation that I did on Saturday. So I teach 2 online history classes. One on Saturday and one on Sunday. On Saturday, the class that I teach, normally 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is called Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Ma'afa, Understanding the Transatlantic Slave Trade, what they didn't teach you in school. And this is normally a 10-week online class. We deal with thousands of years of history and what leads up to the transatlantic slave trade taking place. We can't start studying our history in slavery. Even when we study the transatlantic slave trade, which is important to study, we can't start in 1619 or in the 1440s with the Portuguese, when the Portuguese get involved in the transatlantic slave trade. We have to understand the history chronologically and deal with the 800-year occupation of Europe by the Africans known as the Moors, who entered into the Iberian Peninsula, today known as Spain and Portugal, from North Africa in 711 AD. When we discuss the transatlantic slave trade, we have to first understand that African people are the original people of North, Central, and South America and have been in the land we call the United States at least 51,700 years. Now, the second class I teach is on Sundays, normally 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's called From the Civil War to the Civil Rights Movement and Black Power, 1865 to 1968. Now, these classes are normally $130. They're on sale right now, $60. We do the sessions live. All the sessions are archived and recorded, so you can go back and watch it anytime. So a year from now, 2 years from now, you can go back and watch the entire class. With both of these classes, I would say the content is PG-13, so you can use this with your children as well if you want to. Also, you can advertise with the African History Network. We have 3 new advertising packages. Our current promotion is buy 1 month to get 1 month free. We have 1 million followers at our Facebook fan page, the African History Network. And with our platinum package, we'll take out ads on our Facebook fan page for you as well to help maximize your advertising campaign. And we take your 30-second and 60-second commercial, we put into the rebroadcast of our shows, and also into the audio podcast of our shows as well. We only have 20 advertising slots because we have a finite amount of advertising space. Email us at TheAHNShow@TheAfricanHistoryNetwork.com, TheAHNShow@TheAfricanHistoryNetwork.com, or call us 313-462-0003. All right now it's correct wrong behavior. It's not over till we win. Wakanda forever. And we'll talk to you soon. Peace.
The work that I do is larger than the fashion industry. It's larger than the art world. And I believe that I was born to bring newness into this world. I'm Kaima McIntyre. I'm 24 years old and I'm an artist. I create everything from paintings to jewelry design, metaphysical jewelry to be specific, and fashion design. The only reason why my prom dress went viral is because people needed it. Within a few days of going viral, Notori Naughton reached out to me and she's like, I saw your dress, can you make me a dress? I was equally as shocked to be asked by a celebrity to design their dress at the age of 17. That's just one person, and the list just continues to go on, to Janet Jackson, to Tyra Banks. It really hits home. That means that the discussion is happening on the grounds in real time.
What does self-care mean to you? To us, it's an opportunity to reconnect with nature. A chance to create something remarkable. At Sage and Elm Apothecary, our handcrafted skincare and household products immerse you in Earth's sweetest nectar, connecting you to nature in a way you never imagined. See for yourself and visit us at sageandelmapothecary.com.
STEM Forward, helping our community find their place in the emerging fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Join us for our monthly live stream on our website, stemforwardedu.org. Watch, subscribe, share. Also join our mailing list to stay up to date with STEM resources and opportunities. STEM Forward, the future is now. Watch, subscribe, share.
iRedify is a Black-owned digital platform that showcases Black and Brown cultures and people. The books on the platform are written by African-American authors, Afro-Caribbean authors, African authors, and so much more. Kids 14 and under can read ebooks, listen to audiobooks, and complete learning activities. Kids can even write in the books digitally. Get unlimited access to everything on the platform for only $8.99 a month at iRedify.com. Sign up for your membership